Hey guys, it's My Aquarium Box time again, and also this week we're going to talk about my greatest successes, my greatest failures, all part of my Febscribuary special. It's coming right up, right after this. Hey YouTube, this is Pecktec, and before we dig into the box, take a look at this knife. My daughter got me this for Christmas. And as knives go, it's quite luxurious and beautiful. Very thin. Look how thin that is. It's so small. It locks into place and it's pretty cool. Anyway. Oh, and very, very sharp as well. Let's dig it in. Let's get in there. Let's get inside this thing. Oh! Here, right here on top from Beantown Aquatics, we've got a coupon for a free assorted Hap cichlid. That is really cool. We also have a card about how to enter to win the prizes, of which there are many. They do a Facebook giveaway, and they do a mega box giveaway. If you do a video like this, you could possibly win a box. Open a box, show what's in it, talk about what you like, and you can win a huge prize. And it's pretty cool. Alright, so here's the scorecard, and along with the sponsors here at the bottom. And the total value this month is $43.29. Ooh, and right here on top, I have a special gift from Mike. Jazz, Acid Jazz, and Louis Armstrong. It's funny, he sent me a Herbie Hancock CD, and I actually listened to it in my car. It's like, takes me right back to the 80s. Thank you, Mike. And inside, oh, look at this. It's a little artificial leaf that your betta can sit on. So what you can do is you can kind of, as it shows on the back, you can attach this leaf somewhere near the top or a place for the betta to rest. So maybe, yeah, it could be really cool in a quarantine tank, or if you've got like a really sparse decorations for your bettas. I always have lots and lots of leaves for mine to lay on, but that's pretty cool. Oh, and this is really cool. Uniseal flexible tank adapters. Oh. How cool. It's sort of like a bulkhead, I guess. It's rubbery, though. This would be great for a DIY project, you know, something to just have in your arsenal of things. In fact, I might have a project for that really soon with the sump. Anyway. Okay, so we also have some Mopani wood. It's got the fluval branding on it, but that's what it is, Mopani wood. Very, very neat wood. I will throw that in with my aquascaping materials. And I have some Bug Bites bottom feeder formula. Ooh yeah. Little Cory cats love these things. Love them. What else we got in here? Ooh. Chemipure Elite. I'll have to read more and see what that. I've used the Chemipure Blue and I've used Chemipure Green, but I have not entered the ranks of the elite for the Chemipure Elite. I liked their other products, so I'm anxious to see what this will do, but that's pretty cool. And that is the box, ladies and gentlemen. And that's the February My Aquarium Box. Lots of cool stuff. As always, I'm looking forward to trying this stuff out. Alright, so as we cross over into this discussion for greatest successes and greatest failures, I'll say that we're going to keep this to mostly to aquarium failures and successes. But I'd like to talk to you about a scheduling failure on my part. So I thought that the big fish deal was going to coincide with Kerrigan's spring break, and I was wrong. It's actually the week before that. And I really want to take Kerrigan and Holly to Washington. I've always wanted to do a family trip to Washington, D.C., so I'm still going to do that, but it's going to be after the big fish deal. So unfortunately, I'm not going to be there to hang out with all of you guys that have reached out and said, hey, I hope you're coming. I'm really sorry. I had fully intended on going. That being said, I'll have even more excuse to go next year. But Kerrigan and Holly are also disappointed. Kerrigan's never been to a fish convention and really wants to go. And Holly hasn't been in a long time, since the very first one that I went to. So that was a big fail. Scheduling fail. Epic. But back to aquariums, I'd say it's hard to gauge the badness of a fail. You kind of have to know, you have to put some boundaries in there, right? So let's say like fish death would be the top boundary. So if I went as that, as far as that goes, it would probably be my homemade CO2 project. This was long before I did YouTube. Like, there was a whole year of me trying to figure out planted tanks and stuff like that before I even really made very many videos. So at one point, I decided to experiment with homemade CO2, DIY CO2. Just it was a yeast mixture, and it just got a little too aggressive in my 55, and I came downstairs and a whole bunch of fish were swimming at the surface and stuff like that, and a lot of them died. Like, I lost, that's probably the most fish I've ever lost at once. I lost a great deal of them. And I had one rummy-nosed tetra that actually turned white. Like, he lost all his silvery pigment. He still kept his red nose, but he lost all the silver, so he was like, he was a really unusual looking rummy-nosed tetra, and people used to comment all the time and wonder where I got that really strange rummy-nosed tetra. So number two on that list where fish died would have to be the time I did not quarantine some replacement rummy-nosed tetras for the CO2 ones that I killed. I bought a bunch of rummy-nosed tetras at the store. I temperature acclimated them and then put them right in the tank with everything else. Turns out rummy-nosed tetras are really bad to bring in parasites and that sort of thing. They're particularly susceptible to a lot of problems, and the ones I got had some issues, and it killed almost everything in the tank, including the rummy-nosed tetras that survived the CO2, and a few other fish along with them. So that was like a really epic fail. So the combination of those two things, terrible. I've had other incidents like not attaching my canister properly and dumping 25 gallons into a carpeted floor. That was a long night of vacuuming. I've done a lot of other little minor screw-ups and stuff. If you go back and look at my videos, like, I'm probably going to take down my pressurized CO2 video because I just didn't know how the knobs worked and stuff. So I'm like, oh, this thing's broken. I still feel like there's some stuff to learn on those old videos, even like the ones with mistakes in them and stuff. And people were quick to point out what I was doing wrong, and then I went back and fixed it. So I'll still leave them up, but I think there's probably a couple of those I need to redo. So that might be my mission this year, is to redo some old videos that I just got completely wrong. Or not completely wrong, but they were not completely right either. That's the thing about this channel, guys. I mean, I'm a hobbyist. I don't keep aquariums for a living. I don't keep fish for a living. I just do it for fun. I do it because I really enjoy the hobby. And I think I do a good job with a lot of this stuff, and I feel comfortable with the techniques that I've employed for, the freshwater tanks. We'll put it that way. I definitely do not profess to be an expert in the saltwater tanks and stuff like that, but you guys have been great about offering advice for different ways to go, and we've listened to every bit of it, trust me. As far as greatest successes, in a way I could kind of point back to the failures, because if you learn from your great fails, you'll be successful the next time, hopefully. As long as you don't let things just kind of pass through you, When something really bad happens in your tank or something like that, if you can learn, if you can understand what went wrong, and then you make maneuvers to not do that again, you're successful. That being said, one of my proudest moments was at the Big Fish Deal when the aquarium won the award, or the Into the Woods tank, after it grew out after a couple of months and things grew in exactly the way I planned. It's okay to fail. It's okay to make mistakes. It can be embarrassing when you do it in front of thousands of people. But things happen. And so long as you learn from that and move on, well, congratulations, you're a person. And maybe a better person. Coming up this weekend for Febscribuary, we have an all aquarium update, which you guys love. And I'm also going to throw in, because it's kind of an update thing, I'm going to do a little bit extra long video, and I'm going to talk about products that I like over a long period of time or don't like over a long period of time. Stuff that I thought worked out and stuff that I'm kind of done with. That's all coming up this Sunday. Until next time, follow your bliss, keep a clean tank, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye. All right, so there. What? Hey folks, for this. And at one point, I decided to experiment with the. And so at one point, I decided to experiment with pressurized, or not. Shit. Hey friends, So at one point I decided to experiment with CO2. Hey friends, hey friends, of course it's Febscribuary. Hey folks,